Good evening, all, and I welcome you all again in the fifth day of AICT Atal sponsored online FDP Smart Health AI Solution for Modern Healthcare System. Today's expert is Dr. Pushpendra Singh Sisodia. He serves as the program leader in the drug discovery platform at Topia Life Sciences. He holds a PhD in computer science engineering with specialization in applying artificial intelligence to healthcare. With over 18 years of experience across the industry, academia, and research, he has continued significantly in AI driven healthcare projects. He has authored multiple publications in reputed SciQ series and Scopus Index journal and conference proceedings. He also mentored winning teams in the national hackathons such as the Smart India Hackathon 2022 and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav Hackathon 2022. Previously, he was associate professor in computer engineering department at Indus University. So I welcome Dr. Pushpendra Singh Sisodia sir to start the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful introduction of mine. And good evening, everybody who all are joined in this session. So, as Madam said, that today's session is AI solution for modern healthcare. Currently, I am working in healthcare company that is Topia Life Sciences in Ahmedabad. That is basically based on the United Kingdom, UK, and they have many other branches such as Romania and US and other European countries. So uh, I think so. That was a good introduction by the ma'am. So, not wasting the time, we'll start with our session. Uh, is my PPT is visible to everybody?
Yes,
Please
sir.
ensure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 So, as you know, AI is a very hot topic in recent times, but at the same time, it is a very applicable domain also in especially in the health. And I'm working with more than 25 members in my team, and we are continuously working towards the healthcare systems using the deep learning and so this today's session is basically deep learning techniques for medical imaging and diagnostics. That how we can use deep learning techniques in medical imaging, as well as I will give you the gist of how you can uh, apply these deep learning techniques for starting for startup also in the end of this session, because nowadays lots of startup basically in healthcare sector using applying deep learning techniques, they are emerging very fast. And what all we need to get into the market, we will discuss in the last. So the contents will be like introduction to deep learning and medical imaging. So we'll start with the brief introduction how deep learning is using the medical imaging. At the same time, medical imaging modalities that is available for us uh, in the market as the public domain also, or commercialized data also, that we will discuss. Core deep learning technologies in diagnostics, we will see some of the case studies we will also see in this session. And uh, in the mid of the presentation, we'll see the challenges and ethical consideration that we need to consider while using deep learning, because it is connected with the healthcare. So it's a very crucial part of the entire people. And next is the future direction and innovation, that where the uh, AI and deep learning is, going towards which direction, and what all innovations are happening in the healthcare sector. And at the last, we will be having the question and answer session. So first is the meanwhile, if you want, meanwhile you want to ask any question, you can ask. You can interrupt me anytime and ask question, because this session is entirely belongs to you, because how industry is working and how academics is working, and the gap between industry and academia, we slightly I try to cover that area also. So, as introduction of deep learning, so there is, deep learning. Most of you already know about the deep learning and machine learning and AI. But here I'm just give you a small definition that deep learning basically is a subset of artificial intelligence, where if you will see that in artificial intelligence we have machine learning as a subset, and in machine learning we have subset as a deep learning. So the deep learning is, is the under AI, and then machine learning, and then deep learning. So deep learning, broadly we say artificial intelligence, and sometimes we use this term as a synonym of, artificial intelligence. So those who are not uh, from the field of computing, they use the term artificial intelligence for this. So the deep learning in medical imaging refer to use of artificial neural networks, especially you might know about convolution neural networks, transformers, and hybrid architectures to analyze and interpret medical images such as X-rays, CT scan, MRI, ultrasound, and histopathology slides. So most of you already know about the X-rays. Generally, we do whenever any person get fractured in their hand and legs, then we use such modality like X-rays. Whereas CT scan and MRIs are kind of 3D images, but when they give us the slides, it's the same slide that we use for the X-rays, but in that slides they have multiple scans for particular organ or part, such as like if we do for the brain, then we have 256 or 36 different slices we can have. It depends on the radiologist that how many slices they need. But what I have seen in my career, that 236 or 235 images are there in CT scan or MRIs generally. Ultrasound is basically 2D images, and histopathological slides. Some of you might know about these slides are basically the whenever we do the biopsy, suppose somebody get any tumor, and we need to identify whether this tumor is benign or it's a cancerous tumor, then we need to do biopsy, and we need some tissues from the skin, that can be from any organ of the body, or if it's a skin cancer, then we can take the skin tissues also. Then we do have the microscopes, then we can see that they analyze and see the cell tissues in cell level. So generally, histopathological slides are used for the nowadays they are using for precision medicines also. But generally they, uh, this is the accurate diagnosis of the cancer or oncology field. But CT scan and MRI, we can understand that we can analyze and we can understand that whether person have cancer or not, or sometimes Alzheimer's we do use MRIs, or brain tumors we do MRIs. But histopathological slides give the exact idea whether they have the cancer or not. So these are some modality we will go further in detail. So, what is the relevance of deep learning in the healthcare? Uh, so deep learning in medical imaging will give us to accurate, efficient, and accessible and personalized patient outcome to supporting doctor rather than replacing them. Nowadays you have seen that many people are saying that AI is replacing to the people, but what I'm seeing, and as per the different agencies worldwide, like in healthcare, like FDA, they are not allow any medical devices in the market that replace any doctor or radiologist. So they should be, that devices should be to support the doctor rather than replacing them. So uh, this is the exact relevance to healthcare, that deep learning is for to help the doctors and radiologists, not to replacing them. And their protocols are like that, they built like that. You cannot be replaced doctor and radiologist by the deep learning. But we can uh, use this technology to make it more accurate. Sometimes human doctor is also humans, they can have load uh, of many patients. So they can be used this deep learning and machine learning technologies to reduce their workload. They can use this, and uh, mind it, it is a very much supporting to them. So this is the exact relevance to the healthcare. So what are the benefits to us, and the healthcare sector is to early and accurate disease detection. Sometimes invasive detection is also done. So sometimes a patient need not to worry about the biopsy and other things that can give them pain. So second is the automation of routine tasks. Sometimes doctor is also very busy in many tasks of the patients, like operations and surgeries. So they do not have time, but to analyze the things. But if you use deep learning in their routine tasks, it will be improve their efficiency also. For example, suppose any person got diagnosed with the brain tumor. Now the doctor whatever the radiologist will have that slices, he will be understanding the entire slices, and then they will give their predictions that yes, it's a early sign of tumor, or it's a mid sign, or it's a advanced sign of the tumor. So in that case, they will be using the deep learning. You can if it is in a starting phase of the disease, then you can easily identify. Sometimes that cannot be identified by the radiologist, so they can use this technology to early diagnosis of the tumors. And for that they need to do masking by by hand, and it will, for one uh, uh, MRI, it will take around half an hour to 1 hour for one patient, and then they have to, develop the uh, patient report. In that case, they use the deep learning, so that entire task will convert into 2 to 5 minutes, and the report will automatically generate. So they can be do this MRIs, 5 to 10 MRI in a 1 hour, instead of doing this task for 1 hour for one patient. So it will be helpful for the radiologist to automation the routine task. So faster decision making, so they can be, as I give you the example, they can be do the faster decision on that one. Consistency and reduce the human errors. So they it will be, every time, if you use that uh, system, the result will be consistent and it will reduce the human errors. And support for personalized medicines. So as I earlier said that in histopathological images, generally if some person got diagnosed with any cancer, then they will, nowadays they are giving the personalized medicine to a particular patient, because nowadays they have, analyzed that the one patient having the different symptom and one patient having different symptoms. So they give the different medicines and doses, especially the doses, so that they can control that doses by, using the personalized medicines. But there they need that histopathological images, so that every 6 months they can, through that histopathological images, they can identify whether the cancerous cell is reduced or not. So by, if it is reduced drastically for particular dose, then they will, continue that dose, or otherwise they will be, change the dose, and then again they will see the patient recovery. So there it will be very beneficial for that. So many startup companies are, nowadays they are using this personalized medicines. So what they will do, they will, histopathological images they will collect, and they will identify, in time series fashion, whether the earlier diagnosis and specific medicine is working or not on that particular person. So that nowadays, that startup is also working on personalized medicines. Improve access of healthcare. So as I said, if we can reduce the doctors time, they can be, attend many patients. It will improve the access of healthcare. Now, next is the cost and the time efficiency. If any radiologist, sorry, can, in 1 hour, if he can do 5 or 10 MRIs, then it will be reduce their time and cost also. Next is enhancement of medical education. I'm sorry. So these are the benefits of deep learning. Now, next is medical imaging modalities. So we have X-rays, as I already told you. So we have used in bone fracture, lung disease, and mammography of the breast cancer. This is basically the cell tissues of the breast cancer that identify through the X-rays. So where the deep learning's role can come, it's like it automated detection of fracture, nodule, and pneumonia. It will screen the breast cancer also, and triage of emergency chest X-rays. So I have seen two, three startups on the automatically identify the minor fractures from the X-rays, and you will get many studies on the breast cancers also in academia as well as industry also. So next modality is the computed tomography. In computed tomography, basically we generally called it city images. So and the benefit of this city images is like it is sometimes we need to identify the volume of the tumor, so we can easily identify the a volume from the 3D images. So computer tomography and the MRI, yeah, these two technologies will give the 3D reconstruction of human organs. So whenever the tumor has been detected, so we can do the segmentation, and we can identify the volume of that tumor and exact location we can identify. And sometimes it used for the 3D reconstruction of how the tumor is big, and their location and their 3D image we can identify. So next modality is the magnetic resonance images. This is the in healthcare, it's a um, vast usable technology where we can do for brain, spines, joint, soft tissues, and cardiovascular imaging. We can do the MRIs, and mind it, for all these uses uh, for deep learning, already companies are exist, and they are selling their product using this modality as well as deep learning. They have the cloud-based softwares that in US and Europe they already use these technologies. So basically, it is also used for the brain tumor segmentation, and nowadays the use of MRI is increasing in Alzheimer disease also. So this is this disease is considered as a dementia. It's a part of dementia. So in dementia, it's a subset. Alzheimer is a subset of dementia. There are other dementia also, but 80% part of this disease is Alzheimer. And the Alzheimer, uh, the age of the Alzheimer is the 55 to 85, 90. So it can be detected if it is because it is not curable right now. So if it is detected early, then we can provide uh, early medication, so that the progression will stop. There is no medicine to remove this Alzheimer, but we can by medication and early detection, we can provide the medication not to spread for years. Acceleration of MRI acquisition. So image reconstruction and denoising and super resolution also we can use the deep learning. So sometimes in majorly 1.5 Tesla MRI images has been used worldwide. But some of the diagnostic center and hospitals also use the 3 Tesla images. But replacing 1.5 Tesla machines from the market, it is very difficult, and they are very expensive also. So where deep learning will, we can use to image reconstruction and denoising and improve their resolution. So many projects are, I have seen in academia, and many people are doing PhD on that to 1.5 Tesla MRI images to improve their resolution, so that the uh, brain part can easily detectable, and it will be work like 3 Tesla images. So researchers are working on that part also to improve their quality of the uh, 1.5 Tesla images. Nowadays, 7 Tesla images also came, but it is not in India, but in US. 7 Tesla images is also clear. So you consider that 1.5 Tesla image came with 300 to 400 MB one image, and 3 Tesla it's around uh, 800 to 900 MB. But for 7 Tesla it is 2 GB per image, and histopathological images came with 1 TB size of one single image. So we need to address these problems while using deep learning. Next is ultrasound. So you have seen that sometimes ultrasound have been used in pregnancy, abdominal organs, and cardiac function. But again, it's a 2D images, so we cannot be construct 3D images and identify the volume of the particular organ or particular tumor. Then we have positron emission tomography, some we called as PET images. So these are the images where the some enhancement in the brain part is worked. Like I will show you the example how PET images looks like, but it's similar to MRI, but with the contrast. So whenever therapy response we need to see, then we use the PET images. Sometimes we have given some kind of medication to the patient, and then we have to see that whether the medication is working on that patient or not. So that time we have to use that PET images. Then pathology and histopathology and microscopic images, that is tissues and cell analysis of cancer, infection, and inflammatory disease. We use the histopathological images. These are basically the microscopic images that, as I said, the size is used, and it's come with a single image with 1 TB. So there is a different, deep learning technologies that we have to use this particular image, because we need to break whole slide into different part of the images, and then again we need to combine them, so that we can again after segmentation we can again get that image back. So we called as whole slide images, and this is the recent part of the research where if those who are uh, doing PhD or those who want to go in the deep research, they can use the histopathological images in their research. It is a good area where they can work, because you understand that 1 TB image is not a a small one, it's a very big one, and there are lakhs of cancerous cell as well as the healthy cells. So once our client said that we need to identify how many cancer cells are there in that particular slide. So counting through traditional method is not possible, because they do not have a single slide. They have hundreds of slides that we need to calculate precisely and give them for the precision medication. So there we have a different technology to use for the histopathological images. Then we have the ophthalmology imaging that generally used for the fundus photography. That is the sometimes we need to do retinopathy for the diabetic and glaucoma screening. So we need to get the images of eyes. So these images there we can use to identify this diabetic retinopathy and glaucoma screening. So, and the vessel segmentation in retinal images we can do. This is also the part of the research. So, these all are the modalities that we can use for the in the healthcare sector, and these are some of the example that how it looks like. So, the PET images are the contrast images of the MRI scan. You can understand like that. And histopathological is the slide of the microscopic images, and we have ultrasound and CT scan. So CT scan, MRI, PET, these three modalities used for 3D construction also. So we can use the 3D images also for that one. We can construct 3D imaging. Now, these are the you can consider as a data set, types of data set we have. Now we need to use different technologies to identify our particular objective. So first, deep learning technology that you all might know about, the convolution neural networks. So these architecture basically the consists with the convolution layers, pooling layers, and fully connected layers. So convolution layers are basically to get the feature from the images. Pooling will reduce the size of the images, but it consists the features of images. So we have different type of pooling method: average pooling, max pooling. This type of pooling methods we have in CNN architecture. Then the fully connected layer that directly connected to the your input layer of the deep learning. Then we have hidden layer, and then output layer, and then we will get the output. Generally, convolution neural networks are used for the image classifications. So whenever we need to classify the different classes in particular modality, then we can use the convolution neural network. So basic functionality is to extract the spatial features such as edges and texture of the image task. So there are lots of variants available in the market. I have given the some of the example, but there are lots of example exist, and some of the, if you keen to do the coding, you can go for the Keras library and TensorFlow libraries. There are lots of new models also available. So some of them are ResNet, DenseNet, EfficientNet. These are some of the neural networks that you can use for transfer learning also. So the transfer learning is basically already the model is developed by the researcher or any company, and we need not to train whole network again. In that case, we can directly use that ResNet and DenseNet, EfficientNet, VGG16, VGG19. There are lots of neural network available for the transfer learning. So suppose the ResNet is trained on the different data set, but you need to identify the uh, different type of skin cancer imaging. and you can use ResNet. You fine tune it, and you use as a transfer learning. You directly call the ResNet, and you can use it for classification. So use cases is tumor detection in CT, pneumonia classification, X-rays. So we have a architecture of this convolution neural network where I have given an example of the alphabet of 2. So you can consider that the black part of this image is the features. So that feature we need to we need to preserve, but we cannot take the whole image. So only the feature we will be transferred to the flattened layer. So we reduce the size by the max pooling, and by using the max pooling we will reduce the size but preserve the features. Then it will got flattened, and it will go into input layer, then a hidden layer, and you will get the output. So the output is also depend what type of input you are taking. If it is a numeric numbers, or then you will get 0 to 9. If you are taking the healthcare imaging, like for tumor and not tumorous image, then it is a binary classification. In that case you will get 0 or 1, or you can transfer this 0 1 to any input, like a tumor or not tumor, or skin cancer. If there are lot 3 4 type of skin cancers, then you can print their name also. So this is the basic architecture of the convolution neural network. So next is the recurrent neural networks and LSTMs. So generally, these RNNs and LSTM are using the sequential processing with the memory cell. They have some kind of memory cell, so they transfer from first layer some memory to the second layer, and with first layer and second layer consists some memory, and it transfer to the third layer. Like that they will transfer, they transferring the features. So if it depends on the previous feature, then we have to use such type of RNN and LSTMs. So generally this type of uh, technology we use for time series imaging, where suppose one person is having Alzheimer, and it is first time he do the MRI, then next 6 months they are doing the MRI. So we can using this technology and get identify the progression of the Alzheimer, and we will give them the precise medications. So their strength is to to tackle the time series data. So these are the basic architecture, where you can see it's the same as a input layer, hidden layer, and output layer, but they they transfer some data to again hidden layer, and process again to the output layer. Then it's a goes round and round, and it will produce you the final output. So generally such type of models are not popular in, especially for medical images, but it's a part of, sometimes we need to use it. Then we have generative adversarial networks. uh, the, the, they consist with the generator and the discriminator. So generator is basically generate the image, and discriminator is discriminate the original one to the previous one, whether it is similar or not. We use uh, generative adversarial networks for the augmentations, where we have very less images of a particular disease. Then we need to do the augmentation. As you all know that we require lots of data to handle the this deep learning models. There we need the data augmentation, where we replicate one image in multiple angles. We have a in augmentation, there are many techniques inside that you can tilt it to 15-degree, 30-degree, 45-degree. You can, flip it. You can affine it. There are lots of technologies inside in augmentation that we can do to increase our data size. So whenever in particular healthcare imaging, we require to increase the training size of the images, then we use the generative adversarial networks. So this is the basic architecture of generative adversarial network, where we can see we have training data with the real sample, and we have one discriminator where we have some random noise and generator, and it generates some images. If it is so, it will discriminate or identify whether they are similar or not similar. So it will provide you the data discriminator loss and generator loss. These are two matrices that we have used, and it is used back propagation algorithm, so that it will goes again and it will repeat the process again. So basically, in healthcare, it is used for the data augmentation. Then we have vision transformers. So as I already said earlier, that we have the histopathological images. So histopathological images, whenever we use, it's a for single slide is a very large slice. So we need to make it in small size of images, and we need to organize in such a way that when we assemble it, it will first we need to disassemble the entire image, and then we need to assemble it again after the segmentation. So where the vision transformer will work, YOLO will not work to identify particular, to identify particular cell in the histopathological image. But VIT is very very good to identify the cancerous cell and a non-cancerous cell, and it will calculate also that how many cancerous cells are present in particular histopathological image. So where we can use this vision transformers. So they have mechanism like that. They have a one classifier that classifies the uh, uh, image of the histopathological image, that we convert into the patches, and then patches give the linear projection flattened patches, and they have identification of particular a single pages one. They have the sequence of all the pages, and whenever they assemble it, then they need to arrange in a fashion that we will get the entire image. And classifier means, here we use the classifier means whenever we do the segmentation, whether it is a tumorous or not tumorous, then the classifier will identify whether it is tumorous or non-tumorous cell. So that's in that particular slide, it will identify easily. So where we use the VITs. Then we have unit and unit segmentation models. So this is the, in healthcare, it's a majorly used model. Even in our company, we also use the units. Unit now, a unit is already, in the market, and unit plus plus is also there. Unit 3 plus is also there, and there are variation of units are available in the market. And this is the backbone of the startups, where the people use units, and they make their medical devices. Whenever I say medical devices, it means is a software is the medical devices. That is a term in the FDA, that FDA is use and consider the AI enabled software, softwares, they called as software as a medical devices. So it's a backbone of that these medical devices, because it is identify easily the tumors, a particular brain part of from the MRIs, CT scan, and the polyps from the endoscopy. So it will easily identify, and you can make modeling on that, and you can also make the software based on the units. So obviously, you whenever we use such type of model that already somebody has, proprietary units, so we need to change their architecture, and we need some changes in their architecture, and we need to justify that it is not the same unit. We need to change their uh, we preserve the working principle, but we need to change underlying the algorithm, that is the requirement for that, so that their copyright will be there. So the basic architecture of this unit is, one part is encoder and another part is decoder. So encoder will use the CNN in the encoder, and in decoder also. But in encoder, it will reduce the size of the image and preserve the feature, and then again it will decode it, and make it same image again with the skip connection in between. So whenever we need to do the object segmentation, we need these units. So they are, generally in nature they are unsupervised, so we need not to give them exact identification that this particular object. But yes, to train such type of models, we need the manual ground truths from the doctors or radiologists, so that we can compare, we can train our model, and once the model has been trained, then we can produce the same result that a radiologist will produce. And if we match our result with the ground truth, that ground truth, when I'm speaking, that means that the segmentation is done by the manual segmentation done by the radiologist. So their result and our result, we side by side compare, and we can identify whether our model is working fine or not. To check whether our model working fine or not, we have different matrices in unit. First is dice coefficient, second is intersection over union. So dice coefficient is basically the degree of overlap of uh, two objects, one is the segmented image and one is the original image. So the ground truth and our segmented uh, image, when we consider it, when we overlap the ground truth with the our predicted result, then how much similar these two images, we called as the coefficient, will give you the score like 80% or 90%. Generally, it is not go beyond 90% in segmentation result. So this is the underlying architecture of the units, where this uh, first, second, third layer is the CNN architecture, where we just reducing the size of the images in sorry, increasing the size of images, uh, uh, not increasing the size of images, but their features we are preserving. So in encoding side, it will be only the feature we will give, and whatever the loss we have from the features, that skip connection will provide you the basic features, so you can again reconstruct that image. So here we in left side, we preserve the features, and then again we reconstruct the image. So at the last, it will here in the right hand side, the input image and output image will be, considering to each other, and how much it is different, then again it will go. So how many epochs we have, it depends on that one, and it will give you the result that whether the segmentation is correctly done or not. So generally, the result, whatever result you get, more than 85% is considered as a good result, and the model based on that result will be marked as a good. But yes, we have different matrices that we need to see: dice coefficient, hertz of distance, bar altman graphs, and lots of other metrics we need to justify. Not only single dice coefficient can prove the robustness of your units. So this is the basic unit. Unit plus plus have a different architecture. Unit 3 plus is a different architecture. Some hybrid architecture is also there. Some called as SAUNET, SAUNET. So these all uh, have a different variety of units. But yes, the core of the healthcare, especially in imaging part of healthcare, by through we can predict the tumors, we can predict the Alzheimer's, we can you know predict the liver tumor, pancreas tumor, and polyps. We have to rectal cancer we call. So polyps are there. So endoscopy, through endoscopy we will get the images. So in all these diseases, we need to use units for the segmentation, and they are approved. This particular algorithm underlying architecture is approved by the FDA also for their medical devices. So this is the core area of healthcare where you can people can work to for their research, for their PhDs. If some want to do MTech, they can use this topic for segmentation. Classifications are not generally used in the healthcare sectors uh, directly, because first we need to do segmentation, then based on the segmentation we use the classification. So classification is not the core part, but the segmentation is the core part. Then we have autoencoder for anomaly detection. This type of unit is also considered as an encoder and decoder. They are also in the same underlying theory, but they generally use to find out the anomalies in the modalities like CT scan, X-rays, and we can do the denoising, anomaly detection in X-ray, fracture. If somebody do having the fracture, then whatever anomalies has done in the while taking the CT scan, MRI, we can rectify through the autoencoders. So this is the basic theory. It is the same as a unit. So underlying construction is, and the architecture work as a same. So one side has an encoder and another side is a decoder, and the arrows you are seeing is for the skip connections. So it's a generally considered as the same. So where we can use, and what all application in the diagnostics are having. So first is the classification. So we can detect the disease such as pneumonia, fracture with the more than 90% of accuracy. Sometimes you will get 95% accuracy also in the classification, but in the segmentation you will not get such type of accuracy, because in classification whatever model you have used, that only identify the class name. It will identify only the labels. Okay. So So it will be either 0 1. If it is a binary classification, it's a multi-class classification, then it will classify the different class names. So the accuracy will be more than 90% we can easily achieve in the classification models. Segmentation is basically used to identify the core, uh, we can say, like to identify tumors, tumor volume, tumor shape, 3D construction. There we can use the segmentation. So 90 to 95% work on healthcare sector, especially in imaging modality, is done on the segmentation part. Reconstruction and enhancing the low dose CT scan and reduce radiations. We use multimodal integration also to combine, MRI, PET or CT images to, comprehensive diagnosis. So we can have such type of models also. They can work on different modality in a single architecture. So there we can, predict disease progression such as Alzheimer, because Alzheimer is a progression disease, because day by day it is only progress, and there is no uh, medication is available in the market to, stop the progression of Alzheimer. But we can reduce the progression of Alzheimer. So suppose the Alzheimer is detected in the 60-65 age. So if it is, early detected and we started medication earlier, then it consider that that person normally will have life of more than 20 years. But if we are not giving any medication and person having Alzheimer, so the maximum age limit will be 5 to 10 year next. So slowly the brain volume will reduce, their hippocampus is shrinked. So because it is a disease with connected with the memory, so all the memory is lost. He even don't know his or her name, their address. If they go to the market and they forget their address, that they cannot be come back to the home also. So and in US, this is a very big problem for the older age people. So there they are, extensively working on this field, so that they can, provide the patient earlier diagnosis and stop this, not stop but reduce the progression of Alzheimer disease. Then real-time diagnostic, real-time diagnosis, age AI or age computing, we can say. There the this type of models, deep learning models, we will induce in the chip, and that chip is a part of any camera or any diagnostic medical device. Then we can, real time diagnostic, we can do and interpret real time. So edge technology is something to transfer deep learning technology to the small devices, such like, if for example, I'm giving you like in nowadays we have seen in Apple Watch the real time heartbeat, or different your oxygen level. We can, real time diagnostic we can do for the edge devices. And in Apple devices also, the FDA has told to Apple company to, they certified their such type of medical devices with FDA approval. Otherwise, they will ban on it. So last past year, they are start doing the approval of FDAs. Now they have a different approvals. See, the approval means, that is a legally a medical device to use for the patient, because some of the feature that Apple earlier is using in their watch and other devices, they are not approved. So they have, but patient are using for their daycare. So FDA have told them to approve this one, and they are nowadays they are you know doing that one. And if we have we want to start any startup, then we need to, especially in healthcare, we need to approval from FDA, because in entire world FDA is a agency where if you got approved your device, that means is a hallmark that your device is foolproof, because there are lots of protocols to use such medical devices, and once you pass it, then you can enter into the US market, and you sell your product. But in United Kingdom there are different protocols, and Europe in a different protocol, so there you have to filing again in a different way, and the same as in Japan and other countries also. So, but the deep learning has the power to make the cloud-based softwares, and once you got approval from FDA, it will be 30 million. You can generate fund from 30 million to 100 million for particular device. And nowadays, if you go to the FDA website, you will see there are lots of AI enabling devices are available that people are use as a startup companies. So there are not only application for academics, but it's a commercialization aspect is more high. So in case study, you consider as the radiology that we have used that focus basically on chest X-ray analysis for pneumonia detection. So as you know that deep learning is required the use images. So lots of images we require to make such type of models. So there are some public domain, they are doing very good work like Kaggle. There you will people are freely for research purpose they are giving the freely available data sets. There you can get lots of images of different modalities, and they also give that where exactly they are getting these images. So you can directly go through that link to that website, and you can directly download the actual original images also. So if you using such use images in your modality or in your models, then CNN can achieve your area under the curve, and ROC is greater than 90%. You can easily achieve, and uh, its impact is to reduce the false negative. So as you use the large images, your model will be produce the good results. Then, beside the radiology, we can also use for the oncology. So oncology is basically a part of it's a broader part of the cancer. So where you can use the brain tumor segmentation using 3D units. So yes, units is not in 2D also. It's have a 3D units also. There are lots of data set available on publicly available, like brain tumor segmentation challenge data, liver segmentation data, same challenge having the liver segmentation data also. So you can use this data in your research or your model, and try to make end-to-end MLOps. matlab, it's like to make your model, make API, integrate with the front end, and so the user will use it. So interactive UI you can make with this modality. So if you deploy your models, then Hugging Face website is there. You can use that one also, and you can deploy in GitHub also. There they are also giving the such facilities. Then we have matrices as called dice coefficient. So there you can achieve more than 85%. Yes, more than achieving more than 90% is sufficient in the segmentation. But I have not seen, especially in commercialization product, that people got accuracy more than 92%. So 92% is the highest, and people got approval at 60% of dice coefficient also. So here it is not like that my paper and my model is giving 99% accuracy, 100% accuracy. It's not like that. But you need to be consistent between 85 to 90%. And the nowadays the FDA have cutoff of 70%. So, but we easily achieve 80-85% accuracy. That is not the problem. So we have the, if dice coefficient 0.85 or more than 85 is sufficient for medical devices. So impact is the precise, tumor boundaries and surgical planning we can do. Nowadays, I have seen many startups. They are making such devices that assist to the surgical planning, where we have the MRIs and their underlying softwares they made using the deep learning. The exact location of the tumor, they will already mark them, and this particular result will assist the uh, surgeons to precise surgical planning. So there we can use. Now the challenges, the basic challenge is data. So availability of data, especially in India, is very tough, because here in India, people are not organizing their data. Even we have tried to many radiologists and hospitals for our medical devices. They have not organized their data. Means once they got the MRI, they have that MRI, but they are not organized in a fashion that after some time, you know, such technology like AI can use those data. And while using those, they are not organizing, means they do not have, they comprise the data in such a fashion that they can be used, for the research purpose or for any commercial aspect. Simply they do the MRI and then load the data. We have seen that the MRI centers, especially in Ahmedabad also, they do not have the last 5 year data. So that is the thing, and without data you cannot train any model. So you need data. Means suppose you want to do PhD, and you have chosen that Alzheimer is the disease or application, and I will make a model so that can identify the Alzheimer in the patient. And you have planning for that research, and you went to the market and find that the data is not there. You are not getting the data. Then how you will build your model, and how you will validate your model? So that is the challenges here. But if you will see in the developed country like US and UK, they have organized their data, and even we can also use, and we have used those data for our model to validate our software or software as a medical device, that we have validate on that data. So main is to organize those data. And the thing is, once suppose you got the data, then the very next problem is to annotation. Like you have 200 images of the patient who have brain tumor. Now the tumor, where to annotate or marking manual segmentation has been should be done by the radiologist. So they have to do that manual annotation of all the data. And if you go and approach to any radiologist as a part of your research, then they don't do that annotation, or if they will annotate that data, that might be annotated by their assistants assistant, like technical assistant, they will do that marking. So in that case, the challenge is when you go for the calculate the dice coefficient, there your dice will be reduced, and in that case, it will be very difficult to get the 80-85% above result. So the annotation of medical data set is, it's a very scarcity, because it is only and only done by the medical person, either it's a doctor or it's a radiologist. They only need to do that annotate, because you do not, any person who belongs to computer background not know the biomarker of that particular MRI. So they only know. So once they will give you that segment, that manually annotated data, then you will train your model. Once your model has been trained, you need not to worry about that data. Then your model will generate the annotations. But first you need that annotated medical data set. So that is the biggest challenge of real time, the data scarcity and data imbalance. That is the another big problem, data imbalance. Suppose I am working on Alzheimer and I need data, specific data, because Alzheimer is majorly detected from 55 year of age to 80-85 year of age. But I am getting the data of 3 years of child, 4 year child, 20 year of child. So that won't work here. So you need that specific data. If they will give you the entire data, that data imbalance, or then that is the one part. Another part is the number of images of one class is very less, the number of data in another class is very high. So data, this type of data imbalance, we need to tackle. Data augmentation, we can do data augmentation, but it will not fully solve that problem. So data imbalance, we need to be considered thoroughly. Then we have overfitting of problems. Sometimes our model, we trained our model and it overfit. Oh, and it will give you the very good result, like sometimes it gives 99% of result. But as I said, if it is classification, so 90-95 result is good. But above 99-95 to 100 if you are getting, then there is a high chances that your model is getting overfit. And there is another problem is model underfit, the lack of data. The data is not there to train your model, and it is going under fit. So overfitting and underfitting, these two are the basic problem related to these deep learning models. Then we have interpretability. So the nature of, because sometimes our model has done overfitting or underfitting, and we have enough data, or data imbalance problem is also not there. But sometimes it gives you results such like that you cannot be interpret, because the nature of AI is black box. Because in input layer, then hidden layer, and then output layer. So whatever happening in the hidden layer, we cannot know what is all happening in the hidden layer. We have provided input, and it will give you the output. Yes, we can solve this problem using explainable AI, but it is not fully solved by the explainable AI also. Some, and explainable AI in segmentation is very difficult. But in classification it will easily give you some idea, but it is not give you the full idea in segmentation. Then another challenges is ethical and regulatory, because see, if you develop a model, if you make a architecture, very good architecture, you publish a paper, now you have one good model. What you will do if you have if you have a team of student, or if you have a team of people, you can make a software, cloud-based software. So for the cloud-based software, and you want to generate seed funding, and then generate fund, and then you need to commercialization of your particular software. Then there are agencies will come. First is GDPR and IPA. They said that whatever data you have used in your models, so the patient details should not be released to anyone. So to preserve the patient data is another big problem. So nowadays, especially for MRIs, we will get the data in DICOM. So convert DICOM into NII, and through that one we can preserve the patient details. And in our model, we generally need the basic details of the patient, like their age, their gender we require, but we do not require their name and their address and phone numbers. That should be preserved. So there should be IPA compliance and GDPR compliance. We need to focus on that one, because if once any regulatory get to know that it is not HIPAA compliance, you will not get any approval. So the commercialization is very difficult. Even in India, we have Cedesco. Uh, if you go there and find the software as a medical devices, that what all protocol we have to follow. They said uh, at the end, whatever the FDA protocol have been furnished, we also follow the same. So they also follow the same FDA approvals. So if so, people generally those who in the field of medical devices, they generally approve first FDA, then they apply to the Indian government, because it will be easily approved. Otherwise it is not easily approved in India also. So first approve in FDA, then approve in Cedesco, then go for once the approve in FDA, it will be easy for UKCA approval. But in UKCA, their protocols are different, so you need to change different things. And one more important thing is, whenever you make this FDA devices, you need, once you complete all the things, all the results. So first thing is, your result should be consistent. Means if for one patient I am producing the same result, the another person again I will check my result for the same person. So if you get the volume of particular tumor is, suppose is 2 cube, so it should be 2 cube again and again. It should not be 2.1, 2.2. That will not work. And uh, and again, you for FDA approval, you need to fix your underlying algorithm. Means once you have for the approval to the FDA, then it will be fixed. You cannot be change anything. For if you change anything, you need to again furnish the all the document to the FDA. So these are some of the ethical and regulatory challenges we have. Then future direction and technologies. So we in this AI era, we need a collaborative training, without sharing the patient data. Means their private data we need not required. If anybody who have done their MRI, we need only MRI image, that's all, and their basic details, so that their privacy should be preserved. We need to use explainable AI sometimes to get the heat maps, attribution maps for transparency, so that we can understand the nature of black box of AI. Edge computing. So nowadays, edge computing simply I will give you earlier I have given you an example that Apple watches are the exact you know example of edge computing. That device is real time. Your oxygen meter and your heartbeat is calculating. And nowadays they are FD approval, so you can rely on those data also. But other devices who are giving such type of data and they are not approved, you cannot be rely on it, because uh, approval of FDA means it's a robust testing. It's a continuous and robust testing. It's not a single 1 year testing. It's a every year they have check your data, and you need to maintain all the data logs entire for 5 to 10 years. Then hybrid models. So yes, we have already primary models already, like unit plus plus, unit 3 plus. Now we need hybrid models so that the accuracy can be increased. As I said, for segmentation, 85 to 9092 is fixed. More than 92, I have not seen. So, but I'm not believing on the normal research paper that somebody has done something and saying that the segmentation result mine is 99%. No, the real time it is not achievable, and especially in segmentation. So, in what we need in clinical integration, especially for cloud-based services. So, it should be a generalized model, perform across diverse population and modality. If I made based on the data that collected from the India, but I'm selling in US, so it perform well in US also. So we need to make such model that is generalizable. We can also use for personalized medicines, as I have said that in histopathological images. If we count the cancerous cell, if over the period it is reducing, then that particular medicine is work, or if it is not working, then we change the medicine. So personalized medicines we need to integrate. Then integration with the wearables, as I said, and given the example of Apple watches. So edge computing is the emerging technologies. Then scaling DL for low resource settings. See, whenever we talk about the DL, that means we need the use GPU power. Even in our company, we have 5 crore rupees GPU, uh, and 2 3 times is got malfunction. So it's a huge investment in to using such type of DLs. And if you go for the cloud-based services, then they are very expensive also. Even for the small setting, 5 lakh per month, you will get the bill. So that resources should be manageable. So yes, these are conclusions from my side that DL enhance diagnostic accuracy, efficiency, and scalability. So we need the key takeaways is ethical and robust DL system are critical for our clinical adaptation, and collaborate on data sharing, XI, and global access is needed, very much needed to improve the research. So that's all from my side. Any Q&A from audience?
Audience, any questions? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir,
Thank you,
for
madam.
this wonderful session. And again,
Thank
I
you.
am very thankful that you have confirmed me for within very short time of period. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Yes. Participants, there will be a uh, 5 minutes break, and then after the next session, we'll start.